Hello, everybody. Let's see who's in here. I have a psychic prediction, Fox. You're hilarious. Welcome, Benny Hill. I'm not sure everybody would get that innocent, but yeah, I thought that was funny. Hi, Eve. Who else we got? Amazing Grace. Yes, this is about that crazy. Well, it's about, yeah. Don't call her Reverend, please. Not in my presence. Donna Lambert and Sweetie Pilo, who's Lauren. Amazing Grace. Jess. Hi, Al Kennedy. Hey, Glenda Head. Rumor. Breaks. Who else we got here? Oh. The Blame Katie stuff. I'll go over and check that out when I'm done. I haven't done it one of those premiere things yet. Maybe I can figure out how to do that after I share my screen. Which, who knows? Come on, Lisa. I hope Lisa's feeling better. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm having a little episode here last couple days, but I hope you're feeling better. It's that time of year, isn't it? Fall. Someone must need another Airstream. Yes, absolutely, and we will be discussing that. If you're watching on the replay, welcome, because I know there's an awful lot of people live right now, but I just felt like I needed to say this. Because I saw these posts. Hi, Wendy. I saw these posts and I had to, felt like I needed to react. So let's see. There's a post by Donna. Hey, Mark. Welcome. Who did I miss lurking? Horse Unite. Okay, as usual, all comments are welcome. Just respect chat and yes, respect the mods and panel guests, which would be me tonight. We don't like to time out or block anyone here or delete comments, so, and my usual chat is always very respectful of that. Okay, so we're going to start out here with, this is Psychic Reverend Donna Serafina. I prefer to refer to her as the Donna Lambert, which is her actual name. Okay, so here is, her, she did a 2-part thing with Sweetie Pilo, Lauren, and Fred Hill, and Ziggy Hill, which did not go over very well. It didn't look good. It didn't sound good. It wasn't very factual. It was mostly just rumors, in my opinion. This whole thing is my opinion. And yeah, she got a lot of blowback, and had to edit out a lot of, I think about 24 minutes last I heard that she had edited out. Sweetie Pilo did, because it didn't look good. Yeah, 6up. You can drop 6up's channel in here. She went over the whole thing, so I'm not going to go over it. Plus, it's pretty long. And if I knew how to clip things. Yeah, she got that from, I believe, Gavel Geeks sent her that, and she went and reacted to it. Okay, so here's Donna's blowback from today. Summer Wells. Of course, we have to have Summer Wells in the title, right? Because we're grifting. I have no problem standing for and searching for truth. What truth? Your truth? In the midst of a bunch of drug addicts, criminals, and alcoholics. Okay, I'm not going to say the obvious here. Who do we know that are drug addicts, criminals, and alcoholics in the midst of you? Yeah. Who run cover for pedos. I can only assume people who run cover for peas or peas themselves. Think about it. Okay, so now she's calling everyone a pedophile. Nice. Nice. That's nice. Any receipts there, Donna? When a pedophile protector and a pedophile promoter and a pedophile allower step forward to show you who they are, believe them. I honestly don't know. Oh, she's talking about Jody Sue. Okay, yeah, the one that she threatened to shred like a machine on the live. I heard her say that and made a post about that. Like, what the fuck? She was vicious and unhinged, in my opinion. She said, "Come on up here, I'll shred you like a machine." I'm assuming that part got deleted, but I don't know. I know the drinking did. When a person tells you she knows her husband is providing drugs to children to be assaulted, believe her. Well, I don't believe that. I honestly don't. Yes, exactly, rumor. I don't believe that. Now I lost everything I was reading from. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. I don't like the way this phone works. Okay. No, my cat's irritating me too. What did Glenda say? My money's on Jab. Oh yeah, it would have been clipped. I know. Well, I think she I think her subs and her revenue dropped because I mean there's not much going on lately, right? As far as she's concerned. What the hell happened to all the screenshots I was reading on? They just like disappeared. And now my cat's like annoying me. Okay, just a minute. Let me get back. You know, this is a low tech, low budget. Everything about me is low. All right, I'm going to have to go to Donna. Well, she's probably gonna push her GoFundMe for the Airstream like Chris McDonough has, so she can travel the country. I hope she didn't delete this because I can't find my. Uh-oh. Oh crap! Sorry. Oh no, here it is. Okay, sorry for the interruption. You know how it goes here. I don't believe that because so many things that Jody Sue says, she's gone back on. Like seeing Summer coming out of the shower naked with Don. You know, she couldn't have seen that sitting in the truck because you can't see the bathroom from sitting in the truck through that door. So later she came out and admitted that she did not see a naked Summer with Don. She saw naked Summer with Candace. You know, she said that she saw Summer drinking with liquors through a sippy cup or something. She changed that later to that Candace had some spirits in a sippy cup because there weren't any clean cups. And one of the boys picked it up and Candace grabbed it away from him. So her stories change. So I don't believe that she gave her husband that Andy sold them drugs to be assaulted. I just don't. I'm sorry. Get it together, Lisa. Yeah. I'll never get it together. I won't live that long. Remember, I'm in my 80s. I want to travel the country. Will you all donate to Me either. I didn't put my Cash App up. Oh, wait. What Cash App? Okay. Oh, Thelma and Louise. Uh-oh, you know how that ended, don't you, Rumor? Hate channels that promote and protect pedophiles seem abundant around the case of Summer Wells. Seems like the drug-addicted pedo crime element on YouTube is in a tizzy. She seems fixated on pedophiles. Why is that? When you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Why is this pedophile is such an overused word on YouTube, especially without that ending though? Everybody is a pedophile. Who's a pedophile protector? Where is there any evidence that there's any pedophiles involved in this whole case? Actually, who's a pedophile, Donna? You seem fixated on that, and that's kind of scary, actually. Hate channels that would that be your channel sounds pretty hateful, actually. Yeah, where's Crybaby? Crybaby's probably over at Ernie's. We could have goats for security. They do not want the truth out. Fred Hill started working for the police on day one of Summerwell's disappearance. When I started telling him, no, Fred Hill did not. And I'm going to get to a little bit of that later. Don't believe that. I'm sorry. Exactly, Glenda. They call everybody, it bring in sex or looks. When you don't have anything else, that's what you go for. Their sex life, they're trans, they're lesbian, they're pedophile. Yep, or looks. They're fat, they smell. Their hair's a mess. Okay. They do not want the truth out. Maybe they don't want your truth out because it's not true. Okay, Fred Hill did not start working for the police on day one. Have we ever seen any evidence of that whatsoever? And if Fred really did do all this undercover work for the police, is he really going to talk about it? Is he? All these people that he taped and turned it into the police? He wouldn't have a very long lifespan, in my opinion, if that was true. Why is she teaming up with Fred Hill, who we've already heard from law enforcement's own mouth not to believe anything he says? But yet that's who she's relying on? And when I started telling him, oh, she's not at Ernie's? When I started telling him clues from my readings, he knew who and where I was talking about. Okay, so we're like 4.5 years later, and you waited until now to tell Fred your readings? Here we go with absolutely Eve. Yep, that's why I'm going over it. The pedo run hate channels run. Oh my God, this is so cringe. The pedo run hate channels. I know a couple of channels that are run by registered sex offenders, but I don't think it's pedophiles. Do you even know what a pedophile is, Donna? Do you know the definition of a pedophile? The pedo run hate channels run by pure trash, drug addicted criminals are having a tizzy fit. What? Pedo run, drug addicted, pure trash criminals are running YouTube channels. Oh my God, Donna. She is just consumed by hate. Ignore them like you would anybody who has spent their life preying on others and is now hoping you will give them today's Airstream money. Oh, wait, no, she said drug money. Sorry, Airstream money. I made a mistake there. I put that in there. See what has their panties in the twist in this interview with Fred Hill. Well, we know Fred Hill makes stuff up, changes his story every day. And we can talk about that a little bit too. Is that the neighbor Fred Hill is talking with me and explaining some of my readings and the people or places I could be referring to. Why do you need Fred? Explain. I listened to that. If Fred could hardly talk because Ziggy finished all his sentences or corrected him or gave him the answers. It wasn't really Fred talking from what I watched. And Ziggy wasn't there. So why is exactly panties and Fred Hill? What the hell? This is so cringe. Think about it. Why are the pee protectors so angry? Who are the pedophiles that these YouTubers are protecting? I don't. Clean bells, which would be you, Donna, provide a distraction. So does noisy drug addicts. That would be Fred. But they will not stop Fred Hill and they will not stop me. And this here is an interview with Fred Hill. And this here is an interview with Fred Hill. That's not very good English. Later, I'll be going over the facts that we uncovered. You wouldn't know a fact if it hit you, in my opinion. Just so you can make sure, in case you didn't get a chance to see this. Oh my God. Understand what we've established, the location of a few things and a few people who were involved that have been using other YouTube errors to try to smear the truth. Very little facts. You know, yeah, people are seeing through the bullshit here. Who are you protecting, Donna? Why don't you go to reputable people? Why don't you ask someone who's not already been proven to make things up? For crying out loud, I actually listened to them, Fred and Ziggy, telling them all the people that had hunchbacks. Like, really? Really? Oh yeah, and this lady, she has a hunchback and she's big. She looks pretty manly. So that could be the man hunchback that Donna saw. Okay, that's like how she always twists things to make her predictions look right. Like I said, the pedophile protectors and the pedophiles themselves. She loves that word, doesn't she? I'm going to count how many times she uses in here when we're done. She loves that word. Hey, Ellie. In fact, why aren't these YouTube pedophiles, if they've been hanging around with pedophiles, they've been supporting pedophiles? See, every other word is pedophile. Oh my God, Donna. They've been, and most importantly, trying to get you to attack anyone that tries to protect children. Okay, what the fuck have you ever done to try to protect children, Donna? What? Have you ever done anything? Then you might have to wonder what you're watching and who. Okay, so everybody that doesn't like Donna Lambert is a pedophile. Okay, that's what she just said, basically. Yeah, the bones thing, another cringe. Rumor, low level panel next door. As for me, I sleep just fine at night, being on the side of the child who was abused and trying to find help for that child. What help are you trying to find? What are you doing to help find her? And how do you know she was abused? Neglected, but abused by pedophile? There's no evidence of that. Sorry. Other than rumor. That child is Summer Wells, a victim of these very types of trashy talkers, a victim of bad people. You're a pretty trashy talker too, in my opinion. Criminals, convicts, drug addicts, and trash talkers want you to believe they are the arbiter of truth. God. She really likes to talk about criminals, convicts, drug addicts, and trash talkers. Everybody that doesn't believe in her, We're all criminals, convicts, drug addicts, and trash-talking pedophiles. They are not. Please do not give them any money. Give all your money to me. I need that new Airstream. I just added that. They do this daily. Jerry Springer wannabe act to get their daily drug, alcohol, and cigarette money. Really? Really? No, she knows how everybody spends their super chats? Oh my God. Was that Ziggy or Donna? Yeah, Ziggy did one on me too. I'm apparently Candy's lesbian lover. She does revenge tarot. Yeah, night terrors and couldn't sleep. Please do not give them any money. This is in all caps. She doesn't want anybody to give anybody else any money. A waste of everybody's time, and they do have a sincere commitment to sidelining the case. They have been running cover for pedos since the beginning. What pedos? Donna? Oh my God. She's just outlandish, outrageous, lurid, tragedy pimp. I mean, she said the Fallows barbecued Tylee's leg and ate it. She said Brian Kober left intestines hanging from the ceiling fan. This woman is just blend up. It's hilarious. Oh my God. I'm gonna count how many times she says pedophile in this. I'm not kidding. None of the pedophile protectors and the pedophile promoters and the pedophile allowers who had it going on right across the road, who knew and spent the last 2 years trying to convince you, isn't Fred right across the road? Didn't Fred talk about having 10 to 12 kids sleeping at his house for a week or two at a time, and he had to call their parents to come get him? Where did these 10 or 12 kids sleep while they were at Fred's for 2 weeks? Maybe Donna could enlighten us on that. What do you see there, Donna? Tried to convince you that her husband was providing the drugs for that, then knowing that their husband's a drug dealer, yet stayed with said drug dealer. He dealt pot, Donna. Molester, wife beater, molester? And did not have a problem with his activities until he left her. Where did the molester part come from? Has anybody said, thank you, Innocent, has anybody heard Andy called a molester? According to Fred Hill, the Barnards, I think it's Bernard, is the only family in the Hollow who refused to put their dogs away and wouldn't let the police search the property, according to Fred Hill. Okay. There is much more in this interview. I will probably do my own analysis of the new information. Oh, goody. I can't wait for that. As for me, I sleep just fine at night because I know God is on my side and that I am on the side of protecting children. Oh, Jesus said that whoever harms a child should have a millstone around their neck and put into deep water. Our kind and loving Jesus suddenly drew the line at the harm of children. The people who have run cover for the perpetrators, the hate channels here on YouTube who would protect a killer pedo. What killer pedo? We don't even know that Summer's dad. A lot of people still think she's alive somewhere. And there's no evidence of any pedophilia here whatsoever. Where are you seeing this? Most likely the same as those who are, yeah. She's ignoring that though. Yep. Andy's damned to hell and not to be believed because he sold pot, but yet I can't. They will not stop our Search for truth. If you follow the case of Summer Wells and you have not seen this interview with Fred Hill, I highly suggested, as it does have actually the only new information I know of that's come out in the last couple of years. You don't have any new information there, sorry. So we're going hunting hunchbacks now around Kingsport. What the fuck? And then she's got a comment. Thank you, Donna. You're an earth angel, if you say so. Okay, let's go to Sweetie Pilo's new. AI writes better than that. AI has better spelling, punctuation, and the correct words, actually. Usually. They do have a problem with the right amount of fingers on an AI picture, but yeah. Yeah, she should use AI. Okay, Sweetie Pilo, otherwise known as Lauren. Monday, get ready. Monday, I will address the people. I have no other choice. I've observed for years and kept my mouth shut. This will be an indictment on the Summerwells creators that mess around and use her face to line their pockets. Was your interviews monetized, Lauren? Exactly. Wait, what is that? 100%. 100 points. Yeah, I don't know. There was so much of that. Okay. Hell hath no fury like a woman who is scorned. So she's scorned now? Hell hath no fury. So now I'm going to go to a woman scorned is a woman who is humiliated, embarrassed. So yeah, you humiliated yourself, Lauren, by getting mixed up in that. Seriously. And a woman scorned is looking for revenge. So revenge, that's, like Ziggy's revenge tarot readings there. Excuse me. Okay, here is something that I heard. I did listen to a little bit of the first interview. Okay, she's talking about Don Wells, Candace smashing Andy's head in. And of course, we just, in the most lurid details, the most lurid words, right? We can't be decent about any of this. Oh, that sounds sad, Lurky. Uh-oh. So yeah, I almost can't believe it, but I haven't thought about that in a long time. You're right, Donna. And how old was the kid? The kid. At least she didn't call it it. How old was it? Do we know when this is? I think 2 years or something like that. Oh wow, 2 years old. She smashed his head in, and then so CPS or whatever took the kid and a girl, and so Candace never had contact with those kids again. And then people tracked them down because of this case, and the boy still had brain damage so severe he had to live in a group home. I remember, and he was 20 or 22, if I'm right. Okay, Candace did not do that. Sorry, but you're wrong. Do you have any receipts? Candace did not bash Andy's head in, and that was not had anything to do with why CPS took them. So you're wrong there too. I guess she just goes by her visions and not any actual documents or receipts or any facts, because there's no facts in here whatsoever. And brain damage so severe. You know what? He's living a better life than you, Donna. And you called him, and she called Andy, Candace's first son, who she says has severe brain damage. She called him and pumped him for information way back at the beginning of the case. And I was appalled. Leave him the hell alone. He was 2 years old. He doesn't know anything about Summer Wells. He doesn't even know who she is. He certainly doesn't remember anything to do with when he was taken. And I thought you were a psychic. Why are you sending people to do all this research? Oh, yes, she called him. 100%. She even says this here. And then people track them down because of this case. She was the one that tracked him down. She called him. What she does is just, that's not the only person she's called and contacted and pumped for information either. She don't have no psychic abilities, in my opinion. It is horrible lurking. Leave him alone. He's just minding his own business, working, fishing with his adopted dad, and living a good life. Much better one than you, in my opinion. She's definitely a fraud. And the girl said she had not had any contact with Candace since, right? Okay, so did you call Candace Jean too? Because she actually did have contact with Candace, and I have screenshots of that. So, okay, and then we go to Don. Already tried to sell one of his kids. Actually, he did not. That is false also, and I proved that. The timelines of that story don't match up. Someone who isn't even born yet does not remember that night. Sorry. A different kid, or he already tried to sell or did sell a different kid. No, he didn't. This is just because you guys remember how that played out. I know. Well, it goes into their story though, right? Because they want to say that Don sold Summer. So so they were the ones supposedly that let police know. Okay. You guys remember, because if you guys remember how that played out on YouTube, Mary and them were the ones supposedly that let police know, but they knew that on the 15th, they knew that already. Okay, so Mary and them did not even know that Don had a daughter. So on day one, no, police didn't know that. That's Fred's story, that they already knew that Don, and I heard Ziggy say it too, that they already knew that Don had tried to sell. And no, they didn't. And Don didn't. So they had some kind of insider or some kind of database and a record of it? No, they didn't. There's no record of it. They're just trying to make Don and Candace sound worse than they actually are. Yes, absolutely. I definitely believe that. So Don tried to trade his first son for drugs. That's not what happened. Oh, and here she claims she talked to Don for a long time too. So you suspect Don, but you're talking to him? I don't know. Okay, I'm reading what more. Oh, he said that the Wells wanted him to bring alcohol. I don't believe I'm sorry, I don't believe that he taped all these people. And last night he was saying that he taped Jody Sue's daughter and son. So do you honestly believe Do you have any receipts? Oh, sure I do. Yep, absolutely. Hey, verbal obsession. Absolutely. There's no, yeah, there's no police reports or anything for any of this. So absolutely. Her saying that Candace smashed Andy's head in. Where's the receipts for that? He's brain damaged so severely that he'll never live a normal life. Funny she never got charged for anything. And that's not why CPS took the kids. It's not. So, and as far as Don selling his kids, yeah, that didn't happen. And I proved that. Can we see them? Look at CCAP, and you can see that that's not true. There's been many YouTubers that have gone over that and shown that that did not happen since the beginning. But what was I going to say now? You distracted me. Something about Fred. And I'm like, what the hell? Oh, I forget what I was talking about. I left a message on Malibu. Hello. I left a message on your post that Ziggy is the she disagrees and Ziggy gets 0 super chats. Yeah, because she gets it all what? Cash App. Oh my god. No, I can't I can't remember. It was something that Fred said that I knew was totally wrong. I mean, it's really weird how he says that he saw, oh, okay. I don't believe that the police would have Fred Hill, who at that point is still like a suspect, right? Everybody's a suspect. Why would they have him go down and tape people? And he's not trained to do that. And he has these undercover drug sales, right, on his record. Why would they pick a drug manufacturer and seller to tape the neighbors? And then they send him in and have him tape minor children? Because he said he taped Jody Sue's son and daughter. I just find that unbelievable. Plus, I heard Ziggy say that, well, there's a gag order. No, there's not a gag order. A gag order is a court ruling on a case. There's no gag order. They told you that to get you to quit calling, Ziggy. There is no gag order. You can look it up. There is no gag order. She said she thought Pruitt was really rude and hung up on her. He wasn't interested in the blue truck, but yet he called you and asked you what you knew about the blue truck. Hey, Will Meach, who would have thought that a suspect, a psychic, and a psycho managed to get this dysfunctional community? In your opinion? That's hilarious. That's classic. I'm going to leave that up there. I don't think he was rude to her at all, innocent. Absolutely not. That's a classic comment. I love that. Okay, so I don't have anything more to say because I'm not going to be going over bit by bit, but I mean, what the hell? Law enforcement already said Andy was not even on their radar and that nothing that Fred Hill said could be believed. So it's just ridiculous. It's just really, oh, she doesn't know how to do research. I saw that when, she had that Jen Du Ryan's alleged wife, but it was just somebody with the same name. Remember that? Everybody in chat was telling her that was the wrong person, but She just kept at it. How did Ryan think he was going to get away with this? She was just giddy at that. Man, that wasn't even close to the truth. Verbal is ignoring me. Verbal lurking wants you to say hi. Well, yeah, and I find it interesting that, oh, thanks for saying that, Little Meech. Yeah, he never has. And I said, did he have a picture of Damien in the pool this summer? Oh, no, I wish I had. Really? Because I saw a picture and it wasn't Damien in the pool. So why was he up there watching Damien in the pool this summer? That's what I want to know. And he admitted that he looked through the basement windows of the wells and saw the boys in diapers. Remember, only the boys wouldn't have been in diapers when he said he was there. His timeline is all off. But yeah, here he admits creeping around, looking in people's windows, right? And yeah. And he said he only talked to Don once or twice. Then why is he on their land all the time? Can anybody tell me that? And yeah, he didn't mention Chad at all in his stories, does he? Conspicuously missing. And now I heard him tell Donna that he was home at 4:15 that day. Okay, so Fred, if you were home at 4:15, you were home when Candace came over at 4:30, right? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that, Fred. Lurking. Where's the photo with Ron? Ron who? Uh-oh. He lost me. Well, somebody said that Fred stole Summer's bike the day before she got missing. I thought one of his sisters said that, but it could be just a rumor too. Lawson and Gus. Oh, Lawson and his. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I wish we'd find out what happened so that these people would have to eat crow. Donna would have to eat crow. You know, her stories are all over the place. She sees Summer on an altar surrounded by people in robes, and they take pictures of her naked and then stab her to death with knives. What happened to that scenario? Now she's handed off to somebody and in a barn. None of her stories match up. None of them do. Just like with the Koberger case. Just like saying Suzanne Morphew's body was in water. That wasn't true either. I don't think she's ever gotten anything right. And you know what? I'm going to look some more for that FBI person saying how they really found JJ and Tylee and how Donna had absolutely nothing to do with it. It was like a half-hour long video. I got to find that. I've looked forever, but Fred said Lawson took a photo for him when Summer is found. Oh my God, please. No. No, she actually didn't. No. I'll find that. It's lurid. Just like her book cover for JJ and Tyler, all spattered with blood. And seriously, that's not a serious. No. Oh, she was definitely wrong on the Idaho 4. Now, I don't know anything about Michael Vaughn. I didn't follow that case, but yeah, seems like, yeah, Ronnie Lawson took a picture with Fred. Oh my goodness. Uh-oh. Okay, does anybody else have anything to say before I end this? It wasn't going to be very long. Excuse me, I just wanted to go over her little spurg out over there, both of them. Let's face it, they made fools of themselves, in my opinion, on 2 consecutive lives. And yeah, she did not have anything to do with the Vallow case. She sent the FBI her stuff, but they didn't use it. So yeah, go over to 6up. She has the unedited version of the whole thing, including the parts that Lauren edited out, like Donna drinking on camera, throwing back a shot. I know. Well, she said that JJ and Tylee were being held captive in a log cabin with a dog sled out front. And yeah, she erased that off of YouTube. What about Koberger being a redhead that lived over top of his father's bread shop in Moscow? That's false. I can't think of anything she said that actually was true, or any case. Which she deletes all the false stuff. The FBI gave a very detailed discussion of how they found them, and it didn't have anything to do with Donna. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes. And what did she say last night? Like I said, they always say the color red, water, the letter 8 or 3, all these things. She did that. She named 3 generic things that were near Summer. I don't think she said a barn, but now she's saying was traded off in a barn. I don't know. How did all this happen? The timeline is too tight. She got home at what, around 3:30, and then is missing around 4. So all this stuff happened, and how did they know when Candace was going to be home with Summer? And Summer looks unconscious in the back of the truck, sorry. Her stuff just doesn't fit with the facts at all. Take your story, take your vision and all this, and then fit it into the timeline, Donna, and then get back to us. Okay, so thanks everybody for being here. Appreciate y'all. Yes, a lot of people are calling them out, rightfully so. And now we see the backlash. Now they're angry. Now they're going to get even more vicious and probably say pedophile about 56 more times in the next post, I'm sure. Oh, and we're all trash, drug addicts, and pedophiles and criminals and addicts. There we go. Yeah. Oh, I need that FBI one though. Okay, thanks everybody. Have a good weekend. Appreciate y'all being here, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.